Tana Mongeau's going to VidCon as a featured creator. James Charles has responded to the accusations with a 41-minute video. Jeffree Star has done a surprising apology video to James Charles. And of course, it's the return of YouTuber Watch. Who will it be this week? All this, plus I'll reveal what's inside this box on this week's edition of YouTuber News. Hosted by me, Benedict Townsend, and brought to you by PopBuzz, the only website that knows what's inside this box. God, I want to know. Our first story, Tana Mongeau is going to VidCon this year as a featured creator, which just goes to show that the old saying is true. If one is not invited to a convention, simply hold your own convention, completely bollocks that up, wait a year, and then you will be invited. I've lost count of the amount of times my grandma used to say that to me when I was a little girl. Yes, for those of you out there who are like, well, yeah, a YouTuber got invited to a YouTube convention. How is that news? First of all, I would say none of this is news. Nothing we ever report here is news. And second of all, it is news because Tana not being made a featured creator at last year's VidCon was the catalyst for her to go away and start TanaCon, which, as you'll remember, is one of the most hilarious disasters in YouTube history. She tried to do her own convention and it just went ludicrously badly. But what's nice is that she has a sense of humor about it. She even sold merch about TanaCon and what a disaster it was. Tana, for her part, tweeted, "I'm in a full-blown simulation," after she found out she was going to VidCon, because, yeah, from her perspective, this must be pretty weird. But the only downside of this story is that I guess this means TanaCon is well and truly dead, which is so sad because I'd already spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars booking a flight to go over there and attend TanaCon. I was already going over anyway because I spent $500 for the James Charles tour, because as you remember, the tickets for the James Charles tour cost $500. There were also no refunds for the James Charles tour, but that's fine because everyone's decided they like James Charles again now, so it's all good. The point is, if someone's doing something dumb and it's YouTube related and it costs $500, I'll be there and be square. What? Zippity-doo, on to story number 2. Our second story, James Charles. There's a name you're not sick of hearing. James Charles has finally responded to the Tati Westbrook drama and all the accusations made against him in a 41-minute video. Why must these videos be so long? I have only so much time in my day and I have to sit and watch them all. Or I say I watch them all because, you know, it's my job, I should watch them all. Really, I vaguely skim them and I just ask other people what was in them. You'll remember that James was called out by Tati. It was a very long drama. If you want a full explainer on that, check out last week's episode of YouTuber News, because I just did a full breakdown. That video is still available on Snapchat Discover and on the YouTuber News YouTube channel, so go there if you haven't already caught up on that whole drama. Get yourself learnt and educated, go college, get knowledge. But in a nutshell, people all decided they didn't like James Charles. James Charles did an apology video to Tati, apologizing that he advertised a company's magic YouTuber health pills, and she was like, "No, James, I'm your friend and I have my own line of magic YouTuber health pills that like make your hair grow or some nonsense. This means we can't be friends," and they had a whole feud. He did an apology video to her. That video went on to become the most disliked apology video of all time, and now he's back and he's got a new apology video and he's done his makeup this time and he's clearly spoken to a PR company because this video has got receipts, it's got recepts. In this video, he gives his own version of the timeline. He calls out singer Zara Larson, who for some reason waded into all this drama and tried to accuse James of coming onto her boyfriend and then immediately backpedaled. He called out Jeffree Star, who again also weirdly waded into this drama for no reason, and more on that in the next story. He talked about how his mental health had been affected by Tati's video. He basically just put everyone to rights, and then the internet decided they liked James again. And isn't that interesting? Because if we cast our minds back to last week's episode of YouTuber News, you'll recall that the host, I can't remember his name, he's a handsome fella, the host said two things. One, he said, "Let's not be mean to James Charles because everyone's being unnecessarily mean," which turned out to be correct. And two, he said that James Charles will be doing a comeback in about 6 minutes. And that immediately happened. So it's almost like the guy who hosts YouTuber News knows what he's talking about and is good at sports and can do weightlifting. Hold on, let's look at that criteria. Knows everything, good at YouTube News, good at sports, does weightlifting. Sounds like the perfect candidate for president in 2020. That's right, Benedict 2020. My campaign is continuing. Vote for Benedict. Vice Pres whoop gold. Don't love the rat. The rat is competing against me. And hold on, what's that around his neck? Oh my God, it's a tiny tie. How the hell am I supposed to compete with that? Why can't I have a tiny tie? You are my campaign manager. Actor Bill Pullman. Wow, what a weird career move for Bill Pullman. He's my campaign manager. I'll roll with it. Why can't I have a tiny tie? A tiny tie for me. A tiny tie for Tati. Let's just check in on the polls. Let's see how this tiny tie has affected things. 99% of the vote. This rat's running away with it. Well, at least Dan Howe's got 0% of the vote. That's one of the lowest percents you can have. Anyway, like I was saying, James Charles tweeted, "I made my video today not to start a war, but to take responsibility for my actions and clear my name. There are two sides to every story." I said that because he capitalized it. Ampersand, now you've heard both. I'm sure more will be said, but I'm moving on. You can form your opinions, but please do not send any hate to anyone. You know, people make fun of James Charles when he talks about having lawyers and stuff, but this guy is a millionaire. He will definitely have lawyers. He will definitely have PR people. He knows what he's doing. You don't need a law degree to know that you can't just slander people baselessly, because they will come for you and they will make videos about it. James went on to say, "I'm literally begging all of you. The internet has seen enough negativity in the last few weeks. Text your I'm going to do this actually in a deep, smooth radio voice. Text your friends and tell them you love them. Give someone a compliment, but don't be too forward." Making fun of the fact that he allegedly harassed men. Weird time to make a joke. "Appreciate what you have and those around you. Heart emoji. Love you all." So, there we have it. The end of the James Charles saga. We'll never hear anything about this again. Ah, so satisfying. Just like all YouTube drama, it comes to a complete stop and we all just move on. And this definitely doesn't just continue forever and ever with more and more nonsense. It looks like I'm gonna be out of a job next week because YouTube drama famously loves ending. It's just like, it's perfect. It's a tie, it's tiny. Our third story is about Jeffree Star apologizing to James Charles. But before that, I want to address something that came up in last week's episode. I genuinely and seriously gave out a YouTuber News Award of the Week to a certain person who I believed had a rough time and handled it pretty well. I'm not gonna name who it is, but if you saw the episode, you'll know who it is. This week, more stuff came out about that story, and you know, I don't want to wade into it, but it's cast my choice of award into doubt, and so to be safe and protect myself and protect you, because you, of course, the viewer, are Bay and Zaddy, I am going to change the award from the YouTuber News Award of the Week to the All YouTubers Are Bad Award. That way we can cover ourselves, because famously, all YouTubers are bad, and I have written a song about this, and I'd like to sing it for you now. All YouTubers are bad. The only person who's good is the rat. So let's throw YouTubers in the trash, and let's keep that rat in our heart. Remix! America Costa! Mic drop. And that is available right now exclusively on Club Penguin. Our third story. Remember when we used to do stories on this show? Jeffree Star has responded to the James Charles hullabaloo. Jeffree Star has responded to the drama which he inexplicably decided to insert himself into, and he has surprised fans because he was promising them a lot of #T, spill that tea. He was promising them receipts. He was basically promising that he was going to destroy James, but in an unexpected turn of events, the new video is very nice to James and explicitly says that he's not going to reveal anything negative about James. So I don't know if maybe James's lawyers got in touch, maybe they had a little conversation behind the scenes, but it was a very strange turn of approach from Jeffree that he's suddenly back on the James Charles train. Well, a little bit. Because before, Jeffree had literally called James, quote, a danger to society, and even got into a whole fight with James's brother. But then he posted this new video, and in the thumbnail, it's him looking very pensive in front of a lovely brown background. It's like he's fallen into the lake at the Wonka factory. Jeffree, no, look out, you're gonna fall into the lake. Oh no, he can't hear us, he's got AirPods in. Oh no. Before the video, Jeffree tweeted, everyone keeps asking me for receipts. I have so much to say and some really sad, disgusting things to show you guys. James Charles tried to mass manipulate you today. When I show you the proof and why I tweeted that about him, you will all finally understand. So yeah, it very much seemed like he was gonna go in all guns blazing. But then the video comes along, a delightful brown video, and he says this: people want me to degrade James. They want me to open up my phone and expose it all. I'm done doing that. I'm willing to bite the bullet and let anyone think what they want, but today I will not be posting voice memos, I will not be posting text messages, I will not be exposing anything more. This has to stop. So, very strange that he's just suddenly decided not to attack James anymore. And even more surprisingly, he very much apologized to James. He said, I'm embarrassed by my own actions. And he said that we had a connection and I think I mishandled our friendship. So it's amazing how much stuff can change. Like a week ago, everyone was against James Charles, everyone was coming for him, everyone was unfollowing him, and it's barely been a week. It was mere days after that, James Charles posts a video where he's got receipts and suddenly everyone likes him again and everyone's apologizing. It's almost as if all of this YouTube beauty drama is pointless and weird and doesn't mean anything. No, it can't be that. Surely it can't be the rat. His little tie. It's all grown up. God, I want to know what's inside this box. If I was a viewer, I'd watch the entire episode right to the end because I want to find out what was in the box, which would be useful for me because I obviously need views. Funny how that comes together. Now it's time for the part of the show where I give you a show. Rat, no! You get yourself a tie and you think you can look inside the box? No, don't use that word. All right? That is a very outdated word. That is not a scientifically accepted term anymore. We're going to wait to the end of the episode, and then we're all going to look in the box together. And I'm definitely not going to pull a bait and switch and not open the box. It's going to happen. Now it's time for YouTuber Watch, a popular segment where I focus in on one YouTuber and tell you what they got up to this week. And this week, the 2020 campaign continues, and it's bad news for one young man who's not doing very well in the polls, and his name is Dan How Watch. It's time for Dan How Watch. Welcome to Dan How Watch. I'm a shadow of my former self. What's Dan been up to this week? Well, as I literally just said, why aren't you listening? We're continuing the 2020 presidential campaign to be president of somewhere. The rat is currently running away with the polls, scuttling away with the polls with most of the vote. I'm coming in a sad second place with not very many votes, and Dan Howell, unfortunately, is not getting any votes at all. And Dan was feeling very sorry for himself, and he went to his best friend, Phil Lester. Phil, this really brings me so much sadness to my heart. Je suis triste. Je suis très triste. And Phil's like, Dad, I am constantly impressed by the fact that you speak fluent French, but feeling sorry for yourself is not going to resolve anything. Sacré bleu, je suis très triste. Où est la bibliothèque? I know, I agree with everything you just said. Beautifully put. But you can't feel sorry for yourself. The people need a leader. They can't be led by a freaking rat. They need to be led by a boy, a nice boy with rosy cheeks and a pocket full of dreams and a plan to nuke the entire world. I do famously want to nuke the entire world. It is the jewel of the crown of my campaign. Je suis très triste. So Dan launched his brand new campaign, which is a big picture of his face, and his new slogan, which is, I'm Dan! And he's already doing amazingly in the polls. In fact, he's surpassed not only me, but the rat. Because when Dan announced his new slogan, he also announced his running mate. And guess who it is? Bloody Whoop Gold! Yeah, she's jumped ship from my campaign to his. Phil is his running mate. He's got 2 running mates. First of all, that's cheating. Second of all, that's gonna be very awkward when we have 2 vice presidents. So, it looks like I'm left without a running mate, and so I'd like to make a little announcement. Ben Rat 2020! It's gonna happen, baby! I'll be president, and the rat will also be there. Vote for Benedict, and vote for the rat! Love the guys! Love the rat! I'm very tired. I'm Benedict Townsend. This has been YouTuber News, which airs every week on Snapchat Discover and the YouTuber News YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It's the best way to get the show delivered to you the second it comes out every week. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit like. Helps us out with the algorithms and stuff. And maybe leave some comments, provided they're very nice. I like to wade in sometimes and reply to the comments. And now, seeing as it's the end of the episode, I guess we better look and see what's inside this box. See, I keep my promises, and that's why I'll be a good president. And let's see. Oh God, it's so many bees! There's got to be at least 12! Why would I open this box of bees? Well, I'm not gonna lie, that stings. See you next week, folks. Who put these bees in here? Because that's not very honey. I know what you're gonna do. You're not gonna edit any bees in, are you? You're just gonna let me scream.